Anyway, you're rapping your ass off before that. You were rapping your ass off after
so
that.
I
Just not there. Not there. Alexander the Great rap from Rustage Too Great, featuring McGwire. Now look, in our NPC interview, Rustage, you actually said if someone just met you in the wild, they think you're a history teacher. So I thought I'd actually bring you in and you can be a history teacher today.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think I'm as qualified. That's the thing, is I have the appearance of one, but I don't think I am qualified to speak on history too much. But I will share my limited knowledge of Alexander the Great and what went into creating this song, and to at least explain the service level stuff that might not be entirely obvious to someone. Do you have any Alexander the Great knowledge whatsoever?
Don't ask these questions if you don't want answers.
Well, I just want to know what your base knowledge is, so I don't just like overly explain.
I know
stuff.
a few things, like how the Alexandria Library from Egypt, for example, like I know that was like one of his great things. He's a great conqueror. I know, like, he's won some battles. Like, that's really the extent of what I know.
There's a lot of stuff I about Alexander the Great that I do not mention in this track, and that people are upset that I didn't. And I apologize. They are in my notes. Sometimes I just can't get everything I want in because sometimes it just doesn't work with the rhymes and the flows or whatever.
Okay. Before we get... McGwire's just a cheat code. He's a cheat code. That's what he is. Okay.
People say, why do you work with McGwire all the time? Why would I not? I want to make a good song. He's very good at what he does. And he does it in, like... I'll be like, hey, can you make he does it like an evening. He just fucking farts it out.
Actually, like, DPS said the same thing to me. He was like, I got McGwire, he got in the booth, and within hours,
just does it.
Boom, done.
Just does it. Well, the thing is, actually, that pre-chorus, he wrote the chorus, right? Sorry, when I say pre-chorus, the intro. He wrote the chorus originally in the chorus, and you'll hear that. But I especially asked him to do a variation for it for the intro. And so that is something that he had to do afterwards. And I don't know, I just like having that. I like having that taster of what the chorus could be in the intro of songs, but it's like a more pushed back, slower version of it. Because, well, I mean, otherwise you just start with me rapping and you're like, oh, will this have singing? The answer is yes. And there he is.
Yeah, I like that. No, he smashed it. His vocals are amazing. Let's go.
Society, another battle they can write in the diaries. It don't matter because I like them describing me. Too great, any verse that I pen, bring file up my library.
Yeah, that's the line about...
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
I caught that one.
Yeah, because the Library of Alexandria burnt down. It's one of the biggest things. And so, I had to reference it because I've said that his verses bring fire. It's a very on-the-nose bar. I feel like everyone will get that one. The thing about this track is, like, it's from the point of view of Alexander the Great, who's obviously quite an egotistical person. And he sort of portrayed as much. It's almost like a virtue of his to be narcissistic. And therefore, the lyrics are very narcissistic. He makes some quite outlandish claims in this song, which I think is very fun. It's very braggadocious rapper naturally.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I like when Rustage gets in this bag a little bit, too.
Alright, any verse that I pen, bring file up my library. You a checkbox, not a rivalry. Damn. Better get lost if you're fighting me. Damn. Now the vest off if you're trying to leave plans filled with holes like the body of Darius B. A-grade,
Darius the Third. So Darius the Third, who was the king of Persia at the time, was essentially like the great... He saw himself as the great rival to Alexander the Great, but Alexander the Great just saw him as a person to be conquered. And so he was hunting down Darius III and chasing him all throughout Persia. And eventually, Darius III's own generals killed Darius by stabbing him full of javelin holes.
Oh my god.
And then because essentially to try and be like, look, Alexander, we took out our own general. But Alexander the Great, as petulant as he was upset that he wasn't the one to kill Darius. So he tracked down the people that killed Darius and killed them himself to at least get something out of it.
He's like, there's no way no one will die from this. It has to be
like,
for me.
And that eventually led to the capitulation of the Persian Empire, which is pretty much one of his crowning achievements.
The body of Darius B. A-grade, Aristotle with no top of the show cut.
Did you know that?
In the
I got two. There's okay. He's just He was taught by Aristotle. That's like one of the big facts about Alexander the Great, is that Aristotle is one of the history's greatest thinkers, and he's essentially the private tutor of Alexander the Great. So it's sort of like, Alexander the Great's really interesting because, yes, he's a great conqueror and he's a great tactician, but he also kind of, from birth, had one of the greatest armies to that point ever constructed by his father, and also was taught, private tutored by one of the greatest thinkers of all time. Like, he had everything. He was a very privileged position to be in.
He was set up. He was set up for success. But it still takes a little bit to succeed. Even
obviously, like, and also quite a lot of luck. There are many situations where he definitely shouldn't have succeeded, and he did. He was in battles a lot himself, and that's just a stupid thing to do, because if you die, everything's fucked. Yeah. But it does help morale if you don't die, and he didn't, luckily.
That's what I never understood, right? Like, why don't people just go after the king or the leader?
Because they're normally not in the battle, right? Like, that's the thing. That's why you didn't see fucking Winston Churchill prowling around World War II trenches.
Exactly.
Because you kill him and it's over. But Alexander the Great was different, and soldiers like that, because when soldiers can see the person that's given them orders also fighting, it creates that sense of camaraderie, as opposed to like a faceless thing that they're fighting for. And if it's successful, it's really successful, but it's a huge risk. The second line there, I say like, I cut like a knot in the rope. It's a Gordian knot reference, and
cut like a knot,
yeah. I've already made a Gordian knot references in one of my other tracks, so I didn't want to just essentially rehash that exact same bar again. So it's more just in this scheme. But if you don't know what the Gordian knot is, it's one of the fun Alexander the Great stories where facts, where this great philosopher or whatever was like, this thing is called the Gordian knot, and it's this tangled, wired knot that only the smartest of men can untangle, because it's so densely packed and it's like very complicated. It's like a Rubik's cube. It's not like but Alexander the Great got the Gordian knot, and he just sliced it in half, which did untangle it, right? And it's used as an example to showcase that his intelligence comes from sometimes thinking outside the box and sometimes cutting straight to the point. And it's a little bit of like PR at the time for Alexander the Great as well. But yeah, I wanted to reference it in the song. So
that's a nice reference. Yeah.
There you go.
Smart too, like, because a lot of people kind of just tunnel vision on one task. He looks at the result, I guess, and he's like, how do I get to the result?
He's like a Taskmaster contestant.
All right, let's go.
A grade, I started with no top of the show, cut like a knot in the rope, rock in the boat, chop in the moth for the coast, hammer, big stepper like a loss as a
okay.
All right, yeah. Do you know the Colossus of Rhodes?
Yeah.
Whenever I be roaming up a Caesar's mind, world wonder, I'm a pyramid of Giza type.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, nice. Yeah. A reference to Egypt again. Yeah, got it.
Well, yeah. So, there's obviously a lot there. Chopping them off at the coast is because when he first started invading Turkey, one of his priorities was modern-day Turkey. Sorry, one of his priorities was cutting off like Halicarnassus and a bunch of like coastal cities, so the Persians couldn't get ships round. Obviously, the Colossus of Rhodes is the huge ancient wonder statue. It's just a big guy, so he's a big stepper. Like the Big Dog song.
Yes.
And it's just like a fun reference. I don't even think Colossus of Rhodes was really around during the time of Alexander the Great. I think that came later, but it's still a Greek thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like trendsetter, ask Napoleon or Caesar. It's like both Julius Caesar and Napoleon and lots of great generals in history after that point idolize Alexander the Great. He's like, he's like the OG. People just idolize him, and they probably will to the end of time. And so he's your idol's idol sort of vibe.
Yeah. Your favorite rapper's favorite.
Favorite rapper is very much what it is. I also have to see he's more popular than Jesus Christ, which at the time is technically true because Jesus didn't exist yet. Because he's in like 300 BC. Jesus wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
But there's sort of a period of time where that could be true. But that's more him being really egotistical, right? It's like in the grand scheme of histories, I should be more important than Jesus. I am the greatest general to ever live. Yada yada yada. It's very much to show how sort of narcissistic he is. And then, yeah. He did become Pharaoh of Egypt at one point, so the pyramids of Giza are one of the ancient world wonders, but he's more saying that I am also a world wonder, like the pyramids of Giza.
And I like the parallel as well with you and the nerdcore space as well, where you're one of the big guys that people
I
really
guess it's
look
not
up
something
to.
I've often thought about. A lot of the comments on the Alexander the Great track have been comparing me to Alexander the Great, and I don't really feel that way at all. But
There's a parallel there, though, in this little. Yes, there is.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But
come on, anyway, Rustage, you're one of the OGs. You've been at this. People respect you. Come on.
I'm
Rustage.
I am
Give
like
yourself
third
some
generation.
flowers.
I am a third generation nerdcore artist. I will say that. I'm a first generation of like MC Frontalot, Mega Ran, etc. Second generation of your Dan Balls, your JT Musics, etc. I am a third generation alongside Daddy Fat Snaps and Fable, and then I guess fourth generation would be people like Ham Sandwich and such like that who started doing stuff a few years after me.
Fair enough. Yeah. I actually started getting into nerdcore, I guess, around your time. So to me, it feels like. It
feels like the OG.
Yeah.
It's definitely in terms of like internet stuff, right? But yeah.
Made of geezer type.
They see my homies, they brace for the tide. Rise up to homie, they can't cross the line too late. Move across the city and it turned to my estate. People fear the name. Oh me, oh my.
Oh my.
Too much on my plate, okay. They keep in line. Hold it too strong, won't break, okay. They bleed and die. Yeah, I know nobody could take my place. They see me right. Ooh, guess I'm just too great.
They say too great. When the family to
It's
work.
such-
Great.
Oh my god, and you're gonna enter in after that with a flow like this?
Yeah.
That's smooth.
It is very, very, very fun. He does a really good job of capturing the theme. Obviously, I compose the instrumental as I always do. I produce it. And I struggled a little bit at first, but I realized that I ended up going for this, like, the drums are very fun. It's like a sort of, it's almost salsa-like. It's groovy. I think it's like a 130 BPM, and I feel like McGwire just works really well on this sort of instrumental with the guitars and the trumpets and stuff like that. And it's a very listenable song, if that makes sense. Like, even if you didn't know anything about Alexander the Great, I feel like this song you can just listen to and enjoy. It has a good sound to it, which sometimes my songs don't. Sometimes they do require more in engagement with the subject matter, but this one is very much you could just be like, this is funky.
I would actually say this whole year you've had a lot of these like listenable songs.
It's something I've been trying to like prioritize a little bit more. Like the Dan Dan track before this one is another example of it, I think.
Yeah, no, you were in my top 5 Spotify Wrapped this year.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Number 5, I assume.
No, I think you're number 3 or 4.
Yeah.
One of 3 or 4, something like that. But yeah. So the whole year you've had a lot of these. I mean, you've had some like, I guess in this. 1 second, I'm trying to think here. I guess in this track too, there's a bit of a speed up, a build up into a little bit of a drop here as well, right?
A little bit, yeah. But yeah.
You had that in a few of your songs, like a more EDM, more pop.
I do
as well.
Yeah,
in a few of your
because I
songs
love producing things. One of my favorite things about rap as like a genre, quote unquote, like is that rap is not really a genre. Rap is just an instrument. Inherently, you can rap over anything, and I want to be able to do that. And I think being able to have the variety of instrumentals to be able to rap over is something that I really enjoy in music. So like this is sort of beat is fun to rap over, but you then take like I don't know, like off my album, something like Moonlight or something like the Derby track or the Sin rap, which is like more like a house track. You've got like a variety of different instrumentals, and I think that rap can sound really cool over different things. Because here's the thing, lots of people really, really like listening to rap mashups, right? Where they'll get like Eminem's songs and then they'll put it over like some Kesha instrumental and they'll be like, this is fire. And it's like, yeah, it is. We should just make more songs like that to begin with. And that's what I'm trying to do. I just enjoy it, yeah.
Did you feel intimidated when you started experimenting rapping on?
I don't think I'm in.
Different...
No, because I've sort of always done that. Because I've always just, obviously you'll have songs of mine that are more rapping on maybe traditional grimier beats or whatever or stuff like that. But I think from in the inception of my music journey, I've always rapped over pop like instrumentals. I mean, when I started out like 10 years ago or whatever, I wanted to make music like Owl City but with rap. So it's always been from where I've come from. If you like look up I think it's the Dumplings Bandcamp. I have some really old music on there. It's just Rustage Bandcamp. If you look at my Bandcamp page,
okay,
and you go to like to like the old albums like The Airlock or Unlinked, where I'm like 14, 15 making these albums of music, you'll very much see what sound I wanted to hit, which was this very much like electro pop with rap.
Okay, I'm actually gonna check that out. Yeah, because I've never checked that.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm not saying it's good.
I checked out your very first rap that you mentioned in our interview.
Oh yeah, cool. yeah.
So I might as well. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
But yeah, well, I mean, that I didn't make the beat for, but for these albums, I did make all the instrumentals for. So it's also a good example of where I've come from production-wise as well. Sorry, I'm yapping about stuff that is unrelated to this song.
No,
I
that's
apologize.
fine.
There's a bit of awful reaction.
No, that's a great reaction. So I like your flow here.
Yeah. I do it as two different vocal takes.
All right, the Persian reference again.
Yeah. Well, actually, the bring their family to watch is the bigger reference, because in the first ever Alexander the Great battle against Darius III, Darius III thought, oh, this guy's going to be really easy to take down, and I'm going to bring my family to watch me defeat him. So his wife and children were there on the battlefield because he thought it was going to be like a fun thing to witness him crushing this random Macedonian general that's just popped up. But then obviously he'd lost and he had to retreat with his family. So that's what I'm referencing there when I say bring their family to watch. And I feel like that one's less likely. If you don't know about it, you're not going to catch it.
Yeah, did not catch that.
And, yeah.
That's embarrassing. Okay.
It was
a Persian to a god. Fake new age. I've been painting them in bronze because I thought it's moving iron and I'm taking what I want. Hey, son of Zeus, to speak up. See the me, the Greeks got. Hey,
right. That means power. Well, it's sort of. It's a general concept of like a power or strength, in Greek. So he's saying like, see the power, the strength of the Greeks is what that line essentially means. Also, he says the son of Zeus, which like partway through his conquest, he visited a bunch of oracles in Egypt, and they told him that he was the son of Zeus, and so he used that as positive PR, which worked really well for everybody except for the people who knew who his dad was. Because there were a decent amount of people in his army that were like, wait a second. This guy we literally knew, we fought for your father. His name is Philip. He's not Zeus.
We ate dinner with your father.
Yeah.
Son of Zeus, to speak up. See the me, the Greeks got. Hey, learning all your weak spots. I make love and war like Eos. Hey, brandish the daggers and I be stacking mausoleums like his halicarnassus. They always telling me.
Okay, wait, don't tell me. Mausoleums. This... I'm trying to understand this from context. I actually don't know what this is. But
the mausoleum
is it wait, is it like a coffin or something, or is it like a memoir maybe?
Yeah, a mausoleum is like a giant tomb, but specifically the mausoleum of Halicarnassus is like one of the ancient world wonders because it's an enormous tomb. And it buried quite a lot of it had a lot of very prestigious Persian Empire were buried there, like people from the Persian Empire and stuff. And
okay, so you're gonna stack up all these important people.
Yeah. Essentially, the idea is that like I'm stacking bodies. I'm killing important Persian people and stacking them in the tomb of important Persian people. The thing is, Alexander the Great actually really admired a lot of old Persian kings. He sort of saw Darius as kind of like a pretender king because he was weak and cowardly. He ran away from the battlefield like 3 times. Whilst Alexander the Great sees people like Cyrus the Great and the original Darius the Great or Xerxes, and he idolizes them as like these incredible generals that he almost sees himself as almost like a rightful ruler of Persia, especially later on in his life where he ruled a lot of Persia. He got very Persianified, and it caused a little discourse between him and his soldiers because they were like, "You're Greek," and he's getting like he has like Persian lovers, and he's like drinking Persian drinks and eating Persian food.
He just wants to be like
a Persian.
He just wants to be like his heroes.
I don't know. It's just This is a really fun rhyme scheme that sort of goes throughout the end of this verse.
So. You're really good at rhyming too, so I expected nothing.
I don't know. It's hard. Yeah.
It's one of your strengths, I would say.
Learning all your weak spots. I make love and war like chaos. Hey, brandish the daggers and I be stacking mausoleums like it's halicarnassus. They always telling me my business and my plans and my manners, and I've been making what I'm building on my tabula rasa, cause I'm a character actor and I've been playing every part in every land that I capture. They call me pharaoh and a king. I got the statues and valor. They're making money and money.
Okay.
Man's a reactor cause they got do it like the great. They're just a fan of the rapper.
Wait.
Sorry, I forgot about that line.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, I forgot about that line.
Guys, Rustage suggested we do this video for this specific song.
I forgot about
For this specific song. That's unbelievable. Anyway, you're rapping your ass off before that. You were rapping your ass off after
so
that. Not there.
So I talk about they always tell me a business plan of my matters. I've been building up a tabula rasa, which is also really an out of the atto rhyme. It works really well on the scheme. But also tabula rasa is a it's the Aristotle thing. So he's taught by Aristotle, so it's a thing that he would have known about. But the Aristotle idea of a tabula rasa is that people are born without anything. Like we are, it's that sort of nature versus nurture debate a little bit, but the idea is that our experiences shape who we are, and we're born as a blank slate, and we build on our perceptions and experiences onto that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably like really butchering it, but the idea is that it's like the line is saying like I've been making what I'm building off my tabula, right? Like from the start, everything I've done is to improve myself and showcase how great I am. And also, are you kidding me? Halicarnassus and tabula rasa as a rhyme is mental. Yeah. And I just could not do that. And the fact that the mausoleum of Halicarnassus is a thing that existed in ancient Persia, and also the tabula rasa is an idea from Aristotle, which like all of the links just link up there.
It makes so much sense.
So perfectly.
Yeah.
And then I'm a character actor playing every part in every land that I capture, because when he started conquering these places, he started adopting the titles so he became the pharaoh of Egypt. He became the king of Persia. He was already, the general of Macedonia and Greece. And so he kind of played all these different roles, and he was quite diplomatic as well. He didn't just like erase Persian culture and replace it with Greek culture. He let people be Persian, and he just became their new Persian monarch. And it's the same with the Egyptians and stuff when he was establishing his dynasties there.
Yeah, and I guess that helps people like accept him too, right? Like the fact that he's not there to change the whole, I guess, culture and everything.
Yeah, it is quite a good thing. It's something that Cyrus the Great did a lot as well. Then obviously it's like that he's got statues of valor. There's lots of statues of him, etc., etc. And then people make money off his name, like they are reactors, because the idea is that like people who react to content.
This is extra true right now because I have Rustage on this video.
Is that you're obviously reacting to things that people want you to react to, right? So the people want to see your reaction to something, and therefore you are inherently, your job is based on the names of other people, right? Yeah. Which is not unfair to say, but like in this, it's like he's saying that like people built businesses over the fact of saying that it had tangential links to Alexander, or like people down the line, he's even referencing like Julius Caesar or Napoleon. It's like people are basing their entire structures of work and the way of like commanding armies on Alexander the Great. And they're saying, I am like Alexander the Great, that's why you should believe in me. And so they're making all this like power and this money off him. Like that's
you're okay with me making money off you, right? Like that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine, right? Get you back. But and then obviously it ends with, but they can't do it like the Great. They're just a fan of the rapper, which is, it's sort of tying into that. It's like, even though arguably Julius Caesar probably was a better general than Alexander the Great. That's controversial, but I believe he kind of is. I feel like, but irrelevant. Alexander the Great believes that any general that came after him is just imitating him, and they can never be as good as him. They are simply just a fan of him. And then it's like the synonym is that. Right, essentially, it's like, you are just a fan of me, i.e. the rapper. You are merely a reactor to my works.
That's hard, though. That's a hard line.
Okay.
That's a hard line, but god damn it.
I'm so sorry. I forgot about that last bit.
All right, let's go. I love your flow here, by the way. Like, you're rapping your ass off ever since this part started. we're gonna go back just to catch it.
Hey, son of Zeus to speak up, see the me the Greeks got. Hey, learning all your weak spots, I make love and war like Eos. Hey, brandish the daggers and I be stacking mausoleums like it's halicarnassus. They always telling me my business and my plans and my manners, and I've been making what I'm building up my tabula rasa, cause I'm a character actor and I've been playing every part in every land that I capture. They call me pharaoh and a king, I got the statues and valor. They're making money in my name like every man's a reactor, cause they can't do it like the great, they're just a fan of the rapper.
They see my armies, they brace for the side.
Actually, something I wanted to ask you, just so whenever you rap like that nowadays, I notice like in the background with the vocals, you'll have like something like in a nice rhythm. Like when did that actually happen? Because I don't think you were always doing it, maybe here and there, but I've noticed it more.
Well, I don't even think I do that often nowadays. I felt like it was relatively unique to this track a little bit, was doing, because the idea was I wanted it to be like his army being like rah rah, building it up. But I guess maybe I do it more subtly in other songs where it's just the ad lib. I don't know. You want to have a little bit of variety with the verses. I think it's really important to be like sonically different as you go throughout it. And I knew that the second half of that flow was the same as the first half of that flow, and I felt like doing something different where I did the low pass on the instrumental and slowly turning off the low pass, and then having the ad libs in the background helped like elevate it and make it different going into the final chorus.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love it though. I love those.
I'm glad you like
things.
It. Yeah.
It's something that I noticed at least a lot of the top, not even nerdcore, just top artists do. Right. Like they never have 4 bars and then after 4 bars nothing has changed. Maybe the flow is the same, but maybe something else is different.
Yeah, instrumental changes or something else. Like it's a
So that's really well done.
Rise up to homie, they can't cross the line too late. Move across your city and it turned to my estate. People fear the name. Oh me, oh my. Way too much on my plate, okay. They keep in line. Hold it too strong, won't break, okay. They bleed and die. Yeah, they know nobody could take my place. They see me rise. Ooh, get some days to pray.
I'm greater. Wanna say I'm not, but they act like haters. Try to claim my spot, but ain't got no status.
Hey.
Yeah, but I pray to God I don't talk to traitors. Nah. Take a shot, but just know I'm greater.
I also love when you join in on the third go of it, right? Usually the third hook.
Yeah.
You'll,
But
like,
just
join in.
I'm always trying to make the final hook a little bit different, and I've done that in a sort of variety of ways over the time, because you want to make it different. You want to obviously have a repeating hook because that's part of the catchiness of it inherently, but like you try to make it a little bit different. And there I felt like bringing back the vocals from the start of the song, but then having me rap in between, and then having the extra McGwire vocals is a fun way of just like rounding out the song and then sort of making a complete product. Sometimes I'll have like backing vocals, like I think in Derby I had like backing vocals from other people come in, and then sometimes I'll do the thing where I rap over it in whatever way. But yeah, because
hey,
that's something.
Always here for some Rustage, you know. Thank you for taking the time as usual, man. Is there anything else you wanted to point out, or I feel like that was just the hook at the end there? So
yeah, I mean it's relatively the hook lyrics, right? Because with hook lyrics, the idea is that it's more for its catchiness than it's like I'm not trying to make any bars. I'm just trying to like make something that sounds good. The rhyme's obviously still there.
All right, guys, please go run up all of Rustage's stuff, the original first,
Thank you.
And then you can watch the reaction, of course.
It's fun. Thank you for letting me talk about history. If I got anything wrong, don't crucify me. Obviously, like, you know, I'm not going to be 100% accurate in every, you know, I'm just talking from my memory of what I understand about the life of Alexander the Great. Very definitely. And I know I didn't mention his horse, and I didn't mention his lover, and there are lots of things that I probably should have mentioned in the song, but I didn't, and I'm sorry.
There's not enough room to mention all of it, right?
Yeah.